Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Bronzecast. I'm going to be your host, Trombone. There's a lot I missed. I've been a little bit busy. Um, having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. So it kind of sucks, but we'll still be able to cover everything. Relevancy, maybe not right on the notch. I want to talk about it. There's a lot of stuff happening in League again. It's just another great time to be able to turn on the camera and do another bronze cast, because that's what it's really all about. When there's a lot happening, when there's a lot overwhelmingly happening in League of Legends, I get to turn on the camera. I get to do this little podcast light by myself. Anyone up for duo kind of talk about these things? Anyway, point is, there's a lot happening in bronze. Not really. In just League of Legends. World's Finals. We're a little late on that. We're pretty damn late on that one, actually. But World's Finals happened. Samsung won 3-0. 3-0. That's pretty impressive. The caveat to that one, though, I want to take. One, I'm really excited as a fan of League of Legends to see someone else that isn't SKT win a World's Finals. It's really intriguing to me to be able to see a little bit of variety. You know, even if it's within the Korean region, spicing it up and not having a consistent champion 3 years in a row actually breaks the game wide open for me. Plus, Europe's performance. I know we said we were going to talk about the finals, but Europe's performance this year has really invigorated me as a fan. This Worlds has invigorated me as a fan watching esports. NA had a bit of a lackluster performance, but that's kind of to be expected. Whenever we go to international events, we kind of fall short 9 times out of 10. We're almost there. We just don't have what it takes to get to that final level. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. But Europe and China stepped it up in a big way and made the competition a competition again. And as a fan of League of Legends esports, it's really exciting just to be able to see again a little bit of that competition ignited within the sport, within the largest tournament that the sport holds. So it's really cool for me. I'm super excited about that. The caveat that I actually wanted to take to that, besides Europe doing really well throughout the tournament, is probably got to be Faker. Got to see a very human reaction out of the man. After all, he is just a man. Um, and you got to think about it from his level too. Being the winner so long, having a little variety and being invigorated as a fan, but also propping a man up so much, and undoubtedly the tearing down of Faker that has to happen at least in a little bit, for people that really depended on him or hadn't set those very high expectations for him. He's still, in my opinion, undoubtedly the best player in League of Legends. That does not change. But it's that same expectation that gets to you. I'm not saying he got cocky and through the finals. I'm saying because through a series of events, SKT lost the finals, and SKT was not as strong of a team coming into this Worlds as they were last year. Having the best player in the world on your team, it puts a lot of expectations on their shoulders, to pick up a lot of the slack that your team might be providing. And when your team just has a little too much slack and they can't pull through like they normally do because your team is just a little bit too heavy. Again, we're talking at micro levels. These are professional players, and we're talking about the damn near highest level, if not the highest level of professional players. Regardless, the kind of strain that has to put on a person, to having those expectations, to be expected to be able to cover for slack, and the slack just turns out to be a little too much for you to genuinely be able to cover. And maybe you slipped up in your own right, so yeah, being utterly and completely destroyed / disappointed is a real feeling. It's not something we should get down on or tease or perpetuate through the way that human beings tend to be. I had this talk about what a fan is before, but it ties right in. It really does. Um, so, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Um, my excitement as a fan, but you got to tone that back and realize, as a fan, you got to promote the people that you've been promoting this whole time. You can't tear them down. You can't tear them down. Not in a big way. You can say, "Hey, man, you're slipping up," but hold off, and don't be a dick about it. Just be like, "Hey, I noticed you're off. Is everything okay?" Kind of thing. Yeah, be a person, be a human being, because that's what it really takes. Um, yeah, World Finals and Worlds in general. That's my thoughts on that. Moving on to the end of the ranked season, there's there's a lot that goes into that. I think I've witnessed some of the lowest points of humanity in the end of this ranked season. I think it's just because I didn't play that much at the end of last ranked season. I was pretty firmly in the bottom tier of bronze. I didn't have much hope to get to silver last season. I was a little closer. I had a little higher expectations of myself. Turns out they were a little too high. It happens. Um, it happens. So, but end of ranked season, it brought out some interesting things for sure. God, I'm saying a lot. Anyway, what it really does bring out is toxicity. Of course, everybody wants to get where they want to go, and when you make a human error, a basic human error, like you normally do in a ranked game. I mean, we're still bronze. We're still, that bronze silver level. There's still a multitude of mistakes that we have no doubt, that we're going to make in the future. So it brings out a lot of toxicity when you see just the basic things that you should expect of the people at this level. Just because they're trying to climb doesn't mean they're at your level. And just because you think you're at that level doesn't mean you are. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. So, for sure, I know it's kind of beating a dead horse here, but try working on your mental state as a very basic thing this preseason, this off season. Because when next season comes, if you can tackle it with a solid mentality, and you don't get down on yourself, and you don't have those little bits of ranked anxiety, if you can just tackle it, and if you play just a bunch of games, so nothing can throw you off anymore. That's the long goal. If you can't look internally and be like, oh man, this is what's fucked up in my brain, I gotta kind of tweak this so I can work the way that I need to when I play ranked, and you can't do that, then just play a shit ton of games. Now is when the ranked games don't matter. The ideal goal is to make sure every game you play doesn't matter. It's just a game. That's the end goal. And if you can't do that by introspection, that's fine. Because there's a genuine other way to do it. It's a lot more time consuming. All you got to do is dump a shit ton of time in the League of Legends, and you can get the same effect. Because if you play it enough, each individual game won't matter. The end goal will still be there. You'll still have the drive. You'll still have the motivation. Just because each individual game doesn't matter as much, doesn't mean the game doesn't matter. Each game shouldn't matter, but the game should matter to you. And you can achieve that goal by playing a lot of it. I mean, it seems like an ad almost, but like I said, if you can't get through that through introspection and just being a healthy human being, that's fine. Just play a bunch of League of Legends and be an unhealthy human being, and have it have healthy results, I guess. So, yeah. I don't know, that's the end of the rank season. I just wanted to talk about humanity a little bit, because I got a little down on humanity. Just some of the decisions people decided to make, and the worst that it really brought out in people kind of concerned me. So I just wanted a little PSA, just if you can't introspect and fix that, just take it to the higher power of putting a shit ton of time into League of Legends. Because I think one way or another, you're gonna get rid of it eventually, and maybe the game's dead for you by then, and that's fine. Because it's a game. Games die. As much as I don't want this game to die, like at all, as much as I want this game to keep going and being the large time sink that is it in my life, because of the fun, enjoyment, and just newness that it brings to me every time I open up another game, the addiction that is League of Legends in my life, it might die. That's just something I have to accept. You can modernize something, but if people play it long enough and just get sick of it, then they get sick of it and then they just leave. So it's Riot Games' job to keep it relevant for you, and it's your job to keep yourself relevant in the world. So that's my end of the ranked season PSA. It's a little down on humanity, but we're gonna move on to some fun things. Runes Reforged. Runes Reforged. How fun. Playing this game for the first... I'm not playing it for the first time, but like playing this game after the patch felt so good. Everything felt fresh. Everything felt new. And that's what I think Riot wanted to capture in this game. Not only did it feel new, but it also felt like they shored up everything that League of Legends was supposed to be from the beginning, and they put it all back together. It's what it's supposed to be. That's what it feels like. I don't know if that's actually what it is, but damn if it isn't fun to play. It's a good time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's so many new things to try out and make sure that they work the way you want it to. There's things that should work and they work pretty good, but you can fine tune it to your playstyle beyond that to make it work harder for you. You can make these runes work so hard for you, and there's great baselines. Dignitas puts out great rune guides every year. That hasn't changed. That gave me a great baseline to find, and because you look at it and you're like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. And then you play and you're like, I don't quite like this. I think I need a little bit more of this. Maybe that makes you a worse player in the long term. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Probably. That's why I'm still in bronze. But, it gives you a little bit more of that customization. Because runes before were very straightforward. You saw a direct impact on your play when you were playing the wrong runes. Now, you don't feel that much. There's not that much difference. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic thing for this game. And I'm just really excited about it. Also with Runes Reforged, stacking Black Cleavers. If you haven't tried it yet, it's fun. It's fun. It's so much fun. You build it on a bruiser. You have to take presence of mind, or it's the mind. You get 10% cooldown at level 10, and then you get adaptive damage for every amount of cooldown above the cap, which is 40%. You build that on a bruiser, you get incredibly tanky. You have pretty decent damage. Your Black Cleaver, the armor pen stacks don't stack per cleaver, but the cooldown gives you a little extra AD, makes the Black Cleaver more gold efficient. It's kind of a cool thing. Play it before it goes away. I played it on an ADC. Feels a little weak, but like you could see how that would be really strong on someone that could actually abuse it. So give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty fucking broken, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know. League has found a way to make this game so fresh. With one big picture, very small thing. Big picture, it could be a big thing. I think realistically though, if you give those stats back in maybe not in a quite as balanced of a way, but when you give those stats back in a pretty big way, or in a pretty small way, it affects it when you balance it appropriately. So Runes Reforged, ton of fun. I've never had more fun playing League of Legends. And it helps you ignore the haters and the other people on your team, because you can either say they're just learning or just carry on with your life. But it's a ton of fun. I'm having a lot of, I don't know. I just can't stop expressing how much fun I'm having with League of Legends. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate you being here. Appreciate it a whole lot. I'm glad you could make it. Small note. I have been streaming more. I might put a little less time into my YouTube channel. I apologize. If there's any voices that I'm missing on this, if I'm not getting enough feedback, if you come here and you really enjoy the content that I put out, please let me know. I don't want to leave you in the dirt. I don't want to put out less content. or content that maybe you wouldn't want to see gone. I don't want to cut something that you don't want to see gone. So I guess, you know, that's kind of what we're going to focus this comment section on today. If you like the video, of course, always drop the like. If you really like what I got going on, sub. But if there's something you like in particular about the channel, if there's something that you hardcore want me to keep, because I'm going to probably put a lot less time into it. I've been streaming. I'm really loving that right now. I'm really loving that. And just what it does for it's a great way to spend my free time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I might put a little less time here. I apologize, but now is a really great time for you to express in the comments what you appreciate about the channel, what you want to continue, maybe something that you don't like so much. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Again, feel free to like if you like, feel free to dislike if you didn't, feel free to sub if you like what's going on here. Comments, told you how I wanted to kind of steer those, and I want to make sure your voice is heard. That's why I want to steer it for the first time. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you for being here and watching. I really do appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. Don't think I don't. So until my next video, have a good one. That was cheesy, but have a good one anyway.